In this session, our focus will be on implementing role-based access control in a job portal project. Role-based access control is a security mechanism that restricts system access based on user roles. In our job portal, we will have three primary roles: admin, employer, and job seeker. Each role will have specific permission and access to the different features in our application. Objective of the session is to create many-to-one relationship with roles and menus class, then define roles admin, employer, job seeker and their permissions in database, implement role-based access control, then create an API and send menu items to the React frontend and render menu items in the user interface. The table shows the roles and permissions. There are three roles. One is admin, two employer, and three job seeker. Admin can have access to all the menu items, job posting, job search, and my profile. Employer can able to access only job posting and my profile. Job seeker can able to access only job search and my profile. So based on these roles and permission, we are going to implement role-based access control in our job portal project. To implement, open backend project in Eclipse and start creating a entity class role in the package model. So right click on the package model and create a new Java class. Name the class as roles. Then convert the plain Java class into an entity class by adding the annotation @entity. Then map with the database table by using the annotation @table with the name of the table is roles. Then create required number of data members. Let me create one primary key for this particular entity class with the data type long and name of the primary key is ID. Then create another data member for getting a role as an input. Then create object for the menus class to implement many-to-one mapping. So name of the entity class is menus and create object for it. Then add annotation to the primary key @ID. Then make it as auto generated by adding the annotation @generated value strategy equal to identity. Then map with the database table column by using the annotation @column with the name of the column is ID. Then map the second data member with the database table column by using @column name equal to name of the database table column is role. Then implement many-to-one mapping by using the annotation @many-to-one and @join column. Name of the column is menu ID, MID, which is available in menus class. In menus.java, menu ID will be the primary key. So the many-to-one relationship is created from roles to menu based on the column MID. Then generate getter and setters. Right click on the file roles.java, source, click on generate getter and setters, select all the data members and generate. So then save. Then open MySQL workbench and connect with your database. As of now, in the database, there are only two tables. One is users and another one is menu. Let us explore what is the content available in users. The table user have three users with three different roles: admin, employer, and job seeker. Then the table menu having three menu items: job posting, job search, and my profile. Now we are going to implement the role-based access as shown in the table. Admin can access all the menu items which is available in the table menus. Employer can access only two, one is job posting and my profile. Job seeker can access only two of the menu item, job search and then my profile. Then start deploying the project. Right click on the project name, run as Spring Boot app. Once project is deployed without any errors, go to the database, right click on the table and refresh. Now one new table is added. based on the entity class roles.java. So try to execute a select query for the newly added table roles. The table initially empty. Now we are going to define roles and permissions for it. The first column ID is a primary key which is auto generated. So no need to enter any value for the column ID. So there are three different roles, role 1, 2 and 3. Role 1 is an admin. He can access all the menu items. So admin role is 1. He can access menu item 1 and admin can access menu item 2 and admin can access menu item 3. So you can access all the menu items which is available in the table menus. Then second role is employer. He can access only two. One is job posting and another one is my profile. Let us explore the table menu. Job posting menu ID is 1 and my profile menu ID is 3. Employer can access menu item 1 and he can access menu item 3, not menu item 2. Then the third one is job seeker. He can access menu item, job search and then my profile. So job search menu ID is 2 and my profile menu ID is 3. So he can access, that means job seeker can access menu item 2 and menu item 3. Like this we can define roles and its permissions. Then click on apply. It generate insert query based on our inputs. Then again click on apply, finish. Execute a select query to make sure the data will be saved permanently on the table. So one denotes admin. He can access all the menu items from the table menus. Two denotes employer. He can access only two menu items, menu item 1 and menu item 3. 3 denotes job seeker. He can access menu item 2 and menu item 3. Then go to backend project and start role-based access implementation. Then open menus repository.java and write JPA query to retrieve all the menu items based on the user role. So @query within bracket double quotes select all menu items from the entity class menus and create object for it. This is not a table entity class. That's why the first letter of the class must be in capital letter. Then perform join operation with roles entity class and object for the roles entity classes are in roles.java. There is many to one relationship mapping based on the column MID in menus class. So this is the object of menus class. Then implement join operation based on the menu ID. So m.mid equal to r.menus.mid with the condition where r.role equal to some parameter, name of the parameter given as role. Then create a method public with list of menu items with list of menus and give the name for the method as find by role with a parameter role integer data type and name of the parameter is role. So after implementing a JPA query to perform join operation to fetch all the menu items based on the user role, then open menus manager.java. Already we have a method to fetch all the menu items from the database table. Now we need to create a new method to fetch all the menu items based on the user role. So here we can create a method to fetch all the menu items from the database based on the user role. So public string, name the method as get menus by role and take JWT token as a input. String token. On successful sign-in, front-end collect username and password from user and submit those data to the backend. Backend project validates the username and password from database. If it is exists, it generates a token by embedding email ID on it and returns. Now we are going to use the generated token as an input and extract email ID from it to get menu items based on the user role. For getting email ID from the token, we need to create object for the class JWT manager. So create object for the class JWT manager, and I just name the object as JWT. Here we can extract email ID from the token by using the object of JWT manager and call the method validate token and pass token as an input. The validate token method, which is already implemented in JWT manager, these will take token as an input and validates token is invalid or expired. It returns 401. If it is valid, then it returns the email ID which is embedded on it. Next, validate the value of email is equal to the error code 401. Then return the error message with error code 401 invalid token. Else implement role-based access to fetch menu items from the database. For implementing role-based access, first we need to get role of the user. For getting role of the user, we need a object for user repository. So create object for user repository by using the annotation @autowired. Users repository is the interface and create object for it. After creating object for users repository, then we can get records from the user table based on the email ID. So create object for the entity class users. I just name the object as u equal to. By using the object of user repository, we can call the method find by ID and pass email as a input, and then call get method to get record from the database table. Then create object for list with the data type menus. I just name it as menu list equal to. By using object of menus repository, already we have the object for menus repository. Name of the object is mr. So mr dot. There we implemented a JPA query with the name find by role. So we can call the user defined JPA query find by role and pass user role as an input. So user role is available in the object u dot get role. Finally, return the object menu list by converting into JSON. Return with the help of JSON builder dot create dot to JSON and pass the object menu list for converting into JSON and convert into string and return. So then go to menus controller.java, create a new endpoint to access the menu items based on the role. @host mapping and name the service as get menus by role. Then create a method public string get menus by role. Take JSON token from the request body by using the annotation @request body. Use map Java collection to get data from the request body. String and name the parameter as data. Inside return by using the object of menus manager. The object of menus manager is m dot and call the method get menus by role and pass CSR ID as a token. data dot get CSR ID. Then save. For testing, first open a front end in VS Code and execute it. Use Firefox browser so that we can able to get CSR ID from the browser cookies. I'm using Firefox browser and provide the URL of front end. In the database users, we have three users with different roles. One is admin, employer, and then job seeker. Let us test first by using admin. The mail ID is admin@xyz.com. Open Firefox browser and provide mail ID and password of admin. Sign in. Once it is navigate to dashboard, use Ctrl Shift C. Then click on storage and go to the cookies and select URL. There we can find the generated CSR ID. So copy the generated CSR ID. Then open Postman tool. Change request method as post and provide URL of backend project http:// with port number 8080 slash name of the API menus slash name of the API is menus. Inside there is a service get menus by role. So provide the name of the microservice. Then submit generated JWT token along with request body. So click on body tag and choose input type is raw and format of input is JSON. Here we can submit the generated CSR ID. Go to browser and copy the generated CSR ID and paste it here and send request to the API. So API returns all three menu items which is available in menus table because admin having access to all the menu items. Next we can test by using employer login, logout and click on sign in. Provide mail ID of the employer. So let me copy the mail ID of employer and password is 123 only. So mail ID and password 123. Let me sign in as an employer. Now we can copy the generated CSR ID and paste it in the Postman and submit request. Now it returns only two menu items. One is job posting and another one is my profile. So employer can access only these two menu items, job posting and my profile. So let us test by log out and log in with job seekers role. Sign in by providing mail ID of job seeker and signed in. Then copy generated CSR ID from browser cookies and provide it as a input and paste it in the Postman submit request. It returns two menu items. One is job search and another one is my profile. Job seeker having access only to this menu item, job search and my profile. Now we generated API and tested using a Postman. Next, integrate with the front end. For integration, open front end in VS Code. Go to the file menubar.jsx. Inside component did mode, we called the previous method get menu, which return all the menu items from the database. Now we can replace with get all the menu items by user roles. So note down the session name from browser cookie. Name of the session is CSR ID. So create object CSR equal to by using get session from api.js, get value from the session CSR ID. Then prepare JSON input. Let data equal to JSON dot string ify and pass CSR ID as a input and pass value to the CSR ID. Then call API and set request method as post and provide URL, base URL plus concatenate the remaining part of URL. We can take the remaining part of URL from postman menus slash get menus by role. So provide the remaining part of URL as a second parameter, comma, and the third parameter is input data, and the fourth one is response handler. Let us use the same response handler. So this dot load menus, end with semicolon. Then save changes, go to the front end, try to sign in with admin at xyz.com, password 123. So sign in as admin. So here we can see all the menu items. So admin can have access to all the menu items. Then log out and sign in as a employer at the rate xyz.com, password 123. Let me sign in as a employer. So it has only two menu items. So employer can able to access only job posting and my profile. They are not having access to job search. Then log out, log in as a job seeker. So job seeker can have access only to the menu item, job search and my profile. They cannot have access to job posting. So we successfully implemented role-based access in the job portal project.